The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you've been having a great week. And I'm excited that you have said yes to you, that you're taking some time out of your day today to listen, to be nourished, to be empowered. Our goal today is to help you spring forward in relationships and purpose. And I want you to think about this spring. There's kind of a bounce in the step, an excitement in the step, springing forward. We're not just like pushing forward. It's springing forward. And particularly, we're going to look at how to spring forward according to how you're made, how you're wired, your calling, your purpose in life, and in relationships. So I hope you're excited to lean in during this time together as we really explore these subjects. I have two great heart-centered experts that will be sharing with you today from their place of wisdom, from their place of experience around relationships and your purpose and how to play life kind of according to the way you're made, not how anyone else is made, but how you in particular are made. And that's the way we feel that you can make a big difference in your life and in all of us, is when we can play life according to how we're made, bringing our strengths, our gifts, our talents forward to the world. So let's lean in, take a breath together. Wonderful. I was having a conversation with someone this week about New Year's resolutions. So I don't know if you all remember what your New Year's resolutions were at the beginning of January. And we were having a conversation, and it was around the business side of things. And they said, Rebecca, I need to call this list. I have this list of people that I need to call. It was my New Year's resolution. And I said, it's March. She starts laughing. And she goes, but I'm really ready now. I said, perfect. So what are some of those resolutions, those things that you're wanting to bring forward in your life, that you put a stake in the ground, you said, I'm doing this, I'm bringing this in my life, this is how I want to move forward. And now we're in March, and maybe you're kind of taking a look. I haven't moved forward in that particular area. What is it that I need to help me move forward? And when we kind of dug in a little bit to what this list was and who these people were and what they were trying to achieve, it was like the goal was too vague and too big. I need to call these people. But when we started to drill down to why, what are you wanting to say to them? Are they expecting your call? What do you want to be the outcome of this call? What are you looking to do, personal and business? And so when we started to get clearer about what we were trying to do, this list became less vague and big, and I have to do all these things with this list, and I don't know how the conversations are going to go, to pulling it in and saying, okay, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's what this list is. Here's what I want to achieve. Here's the next thing I can do. And then we could break it down into bite-sized pieces. And there are always some mindset things that go on around that, how we're thinking about it. Sometimes our fears come up when we're looking at doing something a little bit differently, moving into a new space. And so today, we're going to be helping you dismantle some of that for you, to really help you play the way you're made in life. And play, to me, means not a lightness and you're not serious about things, but it's a joyfulness in what you do, that spring back in your step. So I want you to take a moment, just kind of think about, are there some of these things that have been on my New Year's list for a few years in a row? And if I look back, just over these past few months, have I moved forward? And this isn't with judgment. It's not with criticism. It's just like awareness. Where am I in this? And now, is it something I do want to move forward in it? Just kind of listen into that. And if you have relationships on the list, if you have something about business or personal, excuse me, I invite you to lean in and think about those things as we go through our conversation today, really listening for ways to approach it a little bit differently, because this is not a solo journey that we have in life. We're not expected to tackle and figure out everything all on our own. We can have a really rich, powerful existence when we're willing to let people in our life, when we're willing to have them walk beside us on our journey. That my friend reached out to me and we could have a very warm, open, candid, direct conversation about this list. And at the end of the conversation, they were very empowered. And, I can do it this way. That's so exciting. They were actually excited to get on the phone and make these calls. So that's the springing forward that I want for you today, is in the areas of relationship, business, personal, in those areas. How can we get that spring back in your step? What are you looking for to move forward in that you're willing to let us support you in? So let's take a moment to listen in. When the hustle and bustle in life, we can get so busy rushing from this to that, to the next thing, to not even taking a full breath. So I'm going to invite you to do that with us today, to hit the pause button on everything outside of what's going on with our time together today. I promise all of that stuff will be waiting, but let us give you encouragement, nourishment, and support and breath on the journey. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe, keep your eyes open, be alert and aware, but tune in a little bit deeper to us. Those of you who are able to, I invite you to close your eyes and go ahead and put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, pulling all of you in, and close your eyes. You're perfectly safe. Take a deep breath from the belly and blow out. Let's do one more. And that actually helps lower cortisol, which is great. Reduce our stress just in a couple breaths, because we can get pulled so many ways. So one more breath. And in this space, bringing all of you in, heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit, what is it that you need today to help you spring forward? And just listen, receive. Sometimes it can come in a picture, a memory, a sound, a song, words. Whatever way that information comes about what you need to encourage you on your journey, I invite you to receive that. Great. And in a moment, we'll open our eyes and you can capture that information, what it is that you need. But I want to take this one notch deeper. Take in one more breath again, eyes closed. And I ask that you open your ears to hear, your heart to receive, and your mind, body, soul, and spirit, all of you, is open to being all that you are called to be. And in that space, one more time, I ask the question, what is it that you need today, real time, to help you spring forward? Go ahead and come back into the room, open up your eyes, and write down what it is that you need today. I want it top of mind. It's one thing to think it and receive it. It's another to actually put it down on paper, to get it outside of you and look at it too and bring it back in that way. So I invite you to claim whatever it is that you need today to support you on your journey. Wonderful. And as we went into that quiet space, I'd love to ask you, Kathleen, if you had something laid upon your heart to share.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for having me on your program. I love to do a meditation standing up. And so mine, because it helps me really ground. It opens up my chakras in the back of my spine. And what came to me is dialing up my observation skills. I'm tackling a huge writing project, and the thing that I want to have a uniqueness about my writing is the way that I observe this topic matter that I am writing about. So observation skills dialed up for sure.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Patricia, did you have something laid upon your heart to share?
Yes. What I saw was to be more grateful and appreciative for all that I've accomplished. And what I heard is I need to clear the calendar and make calls to those people who want me to talk to them about how I can help them find their long-lasting, affectionate relationship.
Beautiful. So grateful, appreciative, and clearing the calendar to make those calls, creating that space. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Patricia, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I had on my heart a message I've really been getting this last week or so, maybe even the last 2 weeks, and it has been to provide and allow, I guess, even more space and time to receive. My plate's getting more and more full as our organization and businesses are expanding and growing, which is exciting. But I'm finding to sustain that I need even more nourishment and time and having resources that pour into me. And so I've been carving out more and more time every day to receive and to be filled to overflowing. And I'm starting my days like that. And this morning, and again, as we went into that heart space, it was just to make that a priority, that nourishment and that feeding into me so that I can serve from a place of fullness, not from a place of depletion. And the busier life gets, the more things that we're doing, that I'm doing personally and that we're doing as an organization, the more important that is. And so that just really beat in my heart powerfully during that time. So Patricia and Kathleen, I want to thank you for joining us today. I thank you for sharing from your heart space. And listeners, we are getting ready to go into our first commercial break. The time goes so quickly. And as we do that, I wanted to invite you to take these 2 minutes. There are 2 minutes during this commercial break to really listen to what it is that you need. Is it dialing up your observation skills? Is it being more appreciative of what you've done or what you have in your life? Is it making room in your calendar? What is it that you need? And I invite you to just spend these next couple moments listening to that. And when we come back, we're going to dive in deep to our first expert interview. We will look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you took that time to breathe and listen and do that deep belly breathing where we're lowering our cortisol and just listening. We move so quickly in life, we can forget to do that. And as you're joining us again, this is an opportunity for us to pour into you, to empower you on your journey. That's the whole reason we have this show, is to empower you on your journey out there. And as we each become empowered and filled to overflowing, then we transform our lives and we transform the lives around us. So that's the power in pausing and listening and finding shows and programming that nourishes you. So our next expert, or I should say our first expert for today, Kathleen Zemensky, you got to hear a little bit of her heartbeat in our first section. And I know you're going to love her energy, how she approaches things. She is this beautiful mixture of the astrology world with a really firm, powerful business foundation. I find her just a beautiful mixture of the practical and profound, which I love. Let me share a little bit of her background. She specializes in business feng shui, astrology, and good timing. She's passionate about empowering people to play to their strengths, maximize their space and power, and using right timing in their life so that they're working with the energies of the year versus against them. So she helps people really glide, in a sense, through life really powerfully. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Kathleen Zemensky to the show. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. Again, it's an honor to be on your show and serve your community today. So let's see what we can come up with.
Wonderful. Well, glad to have you. Now,
thank you.
Absolutely. Why is my question I always like to start with. So why is this business feng shui and astrology and timing, why are these things so important to you that you are dedicating your life to studying them and to empowering people in this way? Why is this work so personally important to you?
I'd have to probably go back to my own personal experience is when I had a bit of transformation happening in my life, and when I found the powers of these subtle energies, knowing who I am, that's the astrology, using my face to correct it, and making decisions at the right time for the right opportunity, I saw how empowering they were. When I empowered myself, I knew that this was something that I could help others do, and it's just been my passion. I've been studying this since 1997, and it's a lifelong study, and there's always more and more to give, and this is where I know that I can help others.
Beautiful. And in that, was there a point in your life that, because you said 1997, correct? Did I hear that correctly?
Could you repeat that? I just broke you up.
Sure. No worries. So you've been studying this since 1997. Did I get that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Was there something that happened around 97 that made you realize, oh my goodness, this is the thing I want to learn more about and help people with?
It was actually a personal relationship. It wasn't a business relationship, but it transfers into other parts of your life. But it was a personal relationship. Hit rock bottom, I would say, would be the honest to God truth. And I reached out to a number of different modalities, but the one that I saw that I had the power, because it was about making choices when I was ready to make choices. I want a little bit more. I've had enough for right now. Okay, I'm ready for a little bit more. It was through feng shui and knowing what's in my astrology chart, what's absolutely available to me at a certain time.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. I just think that sometimes that clarity comes in really hard situations when things fall apart or it's challenging, is sometimes where we can discover, looking back, maybe not right at that moment, but we can discover our callings and our gifts and what the things are that are really powerful and make a difference. And we can then, at least I find this in my own life, really become compelled to share it with others because we know the change that it made for us and we want to echo that forward. Oh, thank you. I just wanted people to hear a little bit of your heart in this and why you do what you do. So do you mind explaining what business astrology is? Because I used that in the introduction, that you're combining business and astrology together, the practical and the profound, and my way of thinking. How do you define business astrology?
If I can actually go back to your introduction, it was a perfect segue to what I do. It's having you tap into your strengths, your gifts, your talents. That's exactly what business astrology is. We look at a person in a very unique way. It's based on the 5 elements. Quickly, the 5 elements are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, and they all mean things. But for a particular person, it's uniquely to them. A wood to one person may be their wealth element. Another may be what they actually are able to create, or it could be about how they have discipline within the workspace. Now, do you have these elements or you don't have these elements? That's the important thing. And so when you know what the composition you're made up of, then you already know what talents do you have. I can't tell you how many times I consult with clients that they come to me and say, here's a across-the-board question. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. And your chart will reveal that. And it will also help you on what your strengths are, maybe where you're going to need some other support. So those are some of the things that a business astrology session or an assessment can provide for someone.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that, because I do find so many people don't know what their talents are. They're not sure how to tap into that. And then once they do discover them, how to use them effectively and powerfully, and what does that translate into the world? So I love that you have a way to support people in doing that. And having a session or an assessment, either way, whichever language people are comfortable with, is a way to really tap into that and understand. And then you have this wonderful ability to help them navigate through in the timing, when to move forward in things, to really harness the energies of the year, when things are maybe easier to move forward versus more difficult. And wouldn't that be beautiful to know, wow, if I did this tomorrow, it would be so much easier than trying to do it today. Or if I do it today, that's going to save me a lot of time and energy next week, really knowing that as you're moving forward. So oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I just want to comment. You gave me some credit that I have to give. Actually, you said that I have an easy way. That is absolutely true. But this is it's based on Chinese astrology, and it goes back for centuries. I just do it in plain English. That maybe is the difference, but it is a very, very trusted system that's been in place for over a millennium. So I just wanted to point that out as well.
Absolutely. And that you make it user-friendly using more common language that people can understand. Because if they're not familiar with, centuries-old language or ways that things are put together, it can be hard to understand it. And so I love that you're able to translate it into a language in a way that it can reach more and more people, that kind of wisdom and information. So really powerful. Now, I know, Kathleen, that you've put together an amazing gift for us today. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what it is? And then I will let people know how to find it.
Absolutely. What I would really love for people to know is what powers and strengths that they do have. So you're going to be able to receive your own birth chart, and what you need to do is you just need to know your date and time of birth. Your year is going to tell you about your branding. Your month is going to tell you about your career. Your day is going to tell you about your partnerships. And then your hour of birth, if you know it, you don't have to run a chart with it, but if you do know that, it's going to tell you about your life purpose and income. So that's the money link. That will tell you that, and it will also have some personal feng shui power directions. So it's nicely color-coded. Highly recommend you print it out in color, and then you'll find out a quick snapshot. It's your blueprint to your success.
Wonderful. And they can access this online. I know I'll give them the way to do it, but they can actually, just so I'm clear in letting them know, that if they go in and they input this information, they're going to get a report sent to them. Is that how it works?
They're going to get their astrology chart, and then there'll be a few pieces after that will do a little bit of explanation. Obviously, it's not an astrology private reading, but it will tell you some of the pieces in there that will explain the chart and how to navigate around the chart.
Wonderful, wonderful. And listeners, I've taken advantage of this, and it is really, really powerful information. So I encourage you to lean into this generous gift that she's making available to you, to really have a blueprint, a guide to support you, and all of the timing of how things fit together, that you're going to get a little bit of a taste of your birth map or your chart to help you move forward in life, to really spring forward. And this will be in business, life, relationships, all of it. So I invite you to say yes to that. But here's the deal. We're going to let you know how to access that gift, as well as the second gift from our second guest expert today, towards the end of the show. So we want to make sure you stay tuned. You hear all that we have for you today, and then we'll let you know how to lean in and get these supportive gifts. And I have some of my own that I'll be sharing with you as well. So let's take a deep breath together. Wonderful. So as we go into our next commercial break here, I invite you to kind of sit with, do I know what my gifts and talents are and my abilities? Would I like to know more about myself and how I fit in the world so that I can navigate powerfully? And just see what the answer to that is. So when we come back, we'll look forward to talking to our next guest expert. Enjoy your break.
Your favorite favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Age with Attitude TV is for the woman who does not see her future as a nice little old lady, but rather she sees herself living a bold, juicy, kick-ass second half. Now, if this is the life you want for your second 50, then Age with Attitude TV is for you. You'll find stories to inspire you, plus money and metabolism tips that really work. Check it all out at agewithattitude.tv, presented by Jan Rose Distel. Find us on voiceamerica.tv. And remember, it's never too late to create a life you love.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Tune in for Suzanne Ross and Lighten Up TV, evolutionary wellness for the body, mind, and spirit. Each episode features Suzanne and her amazing guests, including inspirational authors, speakers, wellness experts, and spiritual guides. This series is focused on achieving total well-being so that you can live well and love life. Visit lightenuptv.net to find out more. Lighten Up TV is presented by the Awakening Center, a nonprofit for those seeking a higher way of living and being. Don't miss out on living your best life now. Go to lightenuptv.net today.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that break and you got a chance to really see, do I know what my gifts and talents and abilities are? Or is that something I want to get a little bit more support in? Really being able to maximize and leverage how they're being used in my life so that things can flow a little more easily and effectively for me. So hopefully you answered yes, and we'll be letting you know how to access Kathleen's gift just a little bit later on in the show. So put that on your list of things that you are saying yes to. And now it's time for me to introduce our next guest expert. And this is where we're going to focus on love and relationships, our soulmates. So our next guest expert, the amazing Patricia Fuqua, is a relationship coach who helps singles 50 plus, so 50 and over, find everlasting love. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing and fabulous Patricia Fuqua. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here, Rebecca.
Glad to have you. Now, would you mind sharing the same question I asked Kathleen in the beginning, that why? Why is this work of helping people find their soulmates, find everlasting love? Why is that personally so important to you?
Rebecca, I'm glad you asked that. I have had an amazing life. I've been married to my beloved soulmate for 45 years and raised 3 wonderful, awesome daughters who are in their 30s. I've studied with Lisa Nichols and Michael Beckwith, but it wasn't always that way. I fell into depression in the 90s, and even though I had really great coaches, it did little of nothing. However, when I studied A Course in Miracles, there's a quote that says, "The way you find peace of mind is to forgive and be happy." When I started to put that in practice, I started to be happy, and I lifted myself into the blue skies of, it's going to be all right. I want to pass that forward to people in their 50s, because these are my tribe, these are my people. I'm wanting them to know that it's going to be all right, and I have a way to show them to be happy and open to love.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And it sounds like from what you experienced that some of that starts kind of internally, of really finding that happiness and then being able to step into that place and receive love. Is that a true understanding?
That is true. You have nailed it. You know, you've heard many times the quote, "Love is an inside job." I discovered with my personal experience that when I'm happy, the people around me kind of fall into line. And even though, and when I'm not, or if I forget to be happy, because it's a choice, if I blame and find fault and I feel guilty or shame, then I get sad and depressed. And who wants to be around somebody like that? Nobody.
Exactly. And both can be contagious. You know, the positive, joyful, happy, or the other. And what are we kind of echoing out there?
So the whole point is we choose to be happy, and then people love to gravitate to us. They love to see us coming. So then love comes in too. I think even love, if we personify it, why would love want to come to you if you're sad and blue?
Yep. No, thank you. Great point. And I love this perspective because it puts us, here's, Rebecca's biased in all of this. It puts us into a leadership position in our life where we have choice. We're no longer a victim. Why isn't it happening to me? Why can't I have this? So it's actually putting us into this place of I choose this. I choose to be this way out in the world. I choose to echo this out so that I can have this. Not that that's the only reason you do it because you want to have this in your life, but what I love about the work that you do and what you're sharing with us today, Patricia, is that we get to not just wait for someday or something to happen to us. We get to choose how we're showing up in life. I love that.
Great. I do too. We're in agreement.
Woohoo! So, circling back on kind of our overall subject of today of springing forward, how can people spring forward in love?
Well, once we get our inner game going, and there are several tools, choosing to be happy is one of them, but then there needs to be tools to a vehicle to bring the people, the kinds of people, and to know the kinds of people that are best for you to help you develop a happy, loving relationship. So basically the idea that I have is a program that helps people with their inner game and their outer game, and then I like to put them together to meet in a retreat. So that's the way I support my people to find love.
So part of, if I'm hearing you correctly about this springing forward concept, part of how we spring forward is working on our inner game as well as our outer game. So kind of our inner things that we're doing, how we work, our mindset, and our outer game, how we're connecting with others, what we're projecting out in the world. But I also heard this additional layer around the right types of matches. You didn't say it quite that way, but it sounded like there's some strategy that goes into matches that would be a fit for how we're wired and made. Is that a correct understanding?
Again, you've nailed it, Rebecca. You're so good. So,
A+.
So basically the idea is, in my programs, people answer 3 questions. Who am I? Not the I that was 20 years old and who had these ideas about what love should be, but as a 50-plus single, who am I? Because we've changed in the interim. And then this 50-year-old I, who would be the best match for the 50-year-old? And how do you talk to them so you can find out if they're the best match and if it's the person that you want to develop a lasting, loving relationship with? So there are 3 basic questions there that I help people answer.
I love that. And then this is the planner, strategist part of me. And then there's a strategy to bring them together, which I love.
Yes, and the strategy to bring them together is once they've gone through the program, they can meet in a retreat, and we can go deeper into the principles of who am I, who's my best match, and how do I talk to them, and practice the skills. So the bottom line, or my kind of subset, is if they meet somebody at the retreat, oh my God, I'm in heaven. But if not, then they have a plan, a strategy that they can work outside of the retreat. They have the skill set to open up to love and bring it into their lives.
I love this because anything that we're learning, if we're stepping into a new way of being, we're answering these questions for ourselves now. Because you're right, the questions are probably different from then in our 20s of how we would answer those questions to how we answer them now and how we'll answer them in the future. That isn't it beautiful to have an environment where we can practice and learn those skills? And listeners, I just want you to think about that for a moment. So often we're going through life, we're expecting ourselves, now that we know something, that we instantly know how to do it perfectly right. And I want to encourage you that there's a practice. I love how you use that, Patricia, that there's this practice, that you're learning these skills. And as you're doing that, have fun with it. Be joyful in it. Celebrate. I tried this. I tried that. I liked how that fit. I don't like how that fit. Really discover who you are and how you start and stop, and have that be a joyful process versus perfection and everything's riding on this. That kind of pressure is really a lot to carry forward. So I encourage you to practice and develop those skills. And I love that you provide that kind of environment in the work that you do, Patricia. Beautiful.
All right.
Well, I know you have an amazing gift that you've put together for us today. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
I have a gift. It's a free gift, so people can just get a taste of what I have to offer. It's an action guide for singles 50-plus who want to date again, who want that long-term, lasting, loving relationship. And there are 5 tips that I ask them to think about moving forward. And then there's a link there. They can listen to a free call to get even more free information. So that's what my gift is today to your listening audience.
I love it. Multimedia. Thank you. Ebook and an audio. Perfect. So thank you so much for making that generous gift available. And we have just about a minute and a half before our commercial break here. And I know you have a favorite success story. I thought I wanted them to know what your amazing gift was and then hear one of your amazing success stories. Or it looks like a minute.
All right. Well, I have a woman. We'll call her Cindy. I met her some time ago in 2010. She sat down and said to me, Patricia, where are the good men? I've been alone for 16 years, and I believe they're all dead or married to my friend. And, that is not a happy statement. And so I talked to her, and at the end of our first session, she had a plan, she had a strategy, she had the marching orders that she only needed one of them, and she met him in Caesar's Palace Hotel, Las Vegas, and they've been married since 2011, happily, because we worked through all of her stuff and raised her from despair to happiness, and of course she met someone. Who wouldn't want to be with this wonderful, beautiful woman?
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that just making that shift attracted and brought in that person for her, that she was able to step forward with them. And you helped her do that. Really beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Well, listeners, we're going to our next commercial break here. And as we do, I'm going to invite you to actually listen to the commercials because the people that we have, the sponsors who really believe in empowering you on your journey, have put together some special commercials to share with you their heartbeat, because they believe in you. They believe empowering women is really important work. And we have some special announcements of upcoming programs and shows that we're going to be releasing on our television channel. So I invite you to listen in, and when we come back, we will have our exciting closing segment, and I'll let you know how to access these gifts. Talk to you soon.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that break. You got a chance to listen to some of our amazing sponsors that make this show possible, as well as some of our upcoming programming and shows that we have. So we're excited. Our television network, Empowering Connections TV, has been expanding, and we get to bring positive, transformational programming to you to really touch the world in a web-based format. So we're really excited about our television channel and our shows, as well as I have an exciting announcement. Kathleen reminded me of this today, and I'm so pleased that she did. But you got to hear Kathleen's heartbeat, her passion for what she does around feng shui, astrology, and really empowering people in the work that she's called to do. And guess what, everyone? I want a drum roll. She is now joining our Voice America family. She's going to have her own show on Wednesdays, starting March 30th from 3 to 4 Pacific time, called Illuminating Feng Shui. We're very excited to have her joining us, excited to have her on the show today. And Kathleen, do you mind just sharing a little bit of your vision for this show and what they can lean into and expect?
Absolutely, and I am very excited. And I really, with all of my heart, want to thank you, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, because I did the speaker talent search, and I was scouted out by Voice America, thanks to you. And I have so much excitement around the speakers that I'm going to be having, or the guests that I'm going to be having on my program. My grandmaster from Malaysia, Joey Yap, yourself. I have some business leaders all across the board. We're going to be talking about ergonomics in the business place and marketing, but how can you use feng shui as that secret weapon? It's your competitive edge, and I'm so excited about sharing all of that.
And which channel are you going to be on?
I'm going to be on the Business Channel. I was actually picked up by the Business Channel. I'm very excited about that.
We are as well. So welcome to the family. You all heard it here first. We're very excited to have you joining us. And I invite you to lean in and really gain that competitive edge, really have this path illuminated for you as you go out there in the world. And I love that you were picked up by the Business Channel and get to serve so powerfully in that way. Thank you for saying yes and being willing to bring your gifts and your talents to the world.
Thank you. Heartfelt thanks to you.
Now, I promised partway through the show that I would let all of you know how to access these amazing gifts that Kathleen and Patricia are making available to you. So I wanted to let you know how to do that. You go to radiogifts, and that's plural because there's multiple gifts.net. Again, that's radiogifts.net, a net of multiple gifts. So radiogifts.net, and you will find a world of amazing gifts opening up to you. You simply put in your name and your email address so we can stay in touch, and then you scroll down to today's date, which is Tuesday, March 8th, and you will see Patricia and Kathleen's pictures there and a description of their gifts. You can simply click on them and say yes to you, yes to this rich and generous gift to really support you on your journey. You'll also see several gifts from me as well in a range of resources, from money to business to really stepping into your purpose, kind of depending on what you're looking for support in. And I invite you to say yes and lean into those that are going to be most supportive of you. The reason we give gifts are because I want you to have tools. I want you to have resources. It's not a solo journey. I want you to have access to the experts like I do so that you can have traction in your life. You can really move forward. You can spring forward on those things that matter most to you. And I find tools and resources and connections to experts are a way to accelerate that path. So I encourage you to say yes and lean into those gifts that really serve and support you. As we're bringing our show to a close today, I asked both of my amazing experts what if they had a tip they would be willing to share with us, and they said yes. So I've asked them to share the tip in about 30 seconds to a minute at the most, so that we can give you some wisdom, some of our parting thoughts as you go forth back into the world today. So Patricia, did you have a tip or tips that you wanted to share with us?
Yes, the tip I want to share is to my single 50 plus, find out how you want to feel with your next love. And this is important because the feeling and emotion that we generate leads us to more experiences that will give us that feeling or emotion. And an example is when I'm happy, I tend to attract people who smile at me, who open doors for me, and who want to do nice things for me. And there's that old quote, smile and the world smiles with you. And the tool, of course, is free and available to you. Smile at the barista at Starbucks. Just practice smiling at the gas station person. Smile at the people who help you through your day, bringing you coffee or food or what have you. And just notice how you feel better and the people around you feel better. And who knows, you have a beautiful smile. Someone special might notice and come over and say hello.
I love it. Let's all move forward smiling today. I love it. Share that gift. Thank you. How about you, Kathleen? Did you have a quick tip?
Absolutely. I would say even the theme of your show, Spring Forward, the springtime is also the beginning of the Chinese calendar, and that means we're in the wood energy. Wood energy is about connecting, networking, using your creative skills. Begin that book or write that blog, start a painting, whatever that might be. When the season is strong, use it to your best benefit. So spring is wood, spring forward, and maybe start that project that's been in the back of your mind, or get to a networking event. You got another good full month if you're listening in the springtime of the year to this live, or even in the future. Always know that wood is about connections and creativity. So spring forward, use it to your best advantage.
I love it. So bring that spring forward energy forward, and perfect time to move forward on those things that you're wanting to, maybe that you've got a little bit of dust on or they're on the to-do list. It's time to take action and move forward in them powerfully. Well, listeners, I hope that you have enjoyed our time together. I want to thank you, Kathleen and Patricia, for sharing your heart and your wisdom with us today. And listeners, I want to invite you to step into that leadership position in your life, to really decide, I'm going to say yes to those gifts. I do want to know my gifts and talents. I want to smile and bring that love of my life. What is it that you're going to take action on? I really invite you to choose 1 to 3 things, bite-sized pieces that you can start bringing forward and implementing today.